Okay, so great day today because we're continuing our job on this entryway. And today's a great day because we're gonna have a sense of accomplishment. If you recall, this is the main entryway when you come in the front door of the building from the outside. And it was a wreck just not too long ago. And so I spent a lot of time cleaning it out and making sure that I can actually get around in here, move around, and do some work. So there is this 1970s, 1980s paneling on the wall. I know why people put it here because they were doing drop ceilings. This had a drop ceiling in it. I've already removed it. And they paneled the walls because they were trying to make it possible to heat and cool the space. So it's really a gigantic space, which means it costs a lot of money for climate control. And they were trying to make it more cozy and more efficient, energy efficient. But I want to bring this back to original. I want everything original, showing the way it was when it was built. So this old paneling that's just disintegrating has to come off. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to take this all the way back down to its original form. And hopefully there'll be something interesting under some of these panels, something that we weren't expecting. When I did this wall, I found this window, which you can raises, and you could stop for information here at the factory. And there was another window out here. Turn this around. So there's an information window. Looks like maybe this is where they got their checks, their paychecks, not sure. That window actually raises up, it still works. And out here is another window. I haven't tried to lift it. Yeah, it looks like if I put a little effort, it will lift. And then here was an information sign. So yeah. All right, it's got to go. Let's get busy. Okay, so first thing we gotta do is, this is a remnant of the floating ceiling that was in here. That's gotta come down all the way across. Once I get this off, I think I can just, through brute force, just pull off all these panels. So, because the nails are stuck into the mortar between the bricks, so they'll pull out. Okay. Just went into a dark room there to get a hammer. I got a mouthful of cobwebs. I hate that. I think I'm gonna need my other hand to do this job. this is not working. I gotta remove a plate around the the door jamb there, so I'll be right back. This is the most disagreeable stuff. It just like splinters and peels, and it's hard to really get something, get a chunk torn off. So that's kind of neat. It's like a channel with routed contour there. So that's pretty neat. Okay, big piece. All right, that's not gonna work. Oh yeah, the green industrial brickwork is coming back. So all right, 40 minutes in, and we've got one section done. So hopefully in another 40 minutes, this will all be done. I'm a hard-working man. Look at that. Trying to pull a 2x4. It's just got some finishing nails in the mortar and this hammer. Buy American. Buy American. And if you recall from a previous video, look at the color of that back there. That was original, and then they had a bulletin board up here and at some point painted around it. How awesome would it be if that was still that color? Oh my gosh. But that's not actually what I was wanting to draw your attention to. Look at this light that's hanging down. It's right there. So I'm 6 feet tall, and that is about 1 foot above my head. So that's at 7 feet. And it would have been hanging down right there to light up that bulletin board. And that's just got a 1940s look to it. Like when you see low hanging lights that are 100% function over form. I just absolutely love that. So that gives me a great idea. I'm gonna figure out some way to replace that bulletin board. And I'm gonna hang not just one, but two of my industrial lights right here by it. And I'll put maybe some pictures of the old factory, tribute to the workers right there. So yeah, new idea. Okay, so I started this project late in the day, and it's almost 4 p.m. and I start getting reckless when I get tired. So I think I'm gonna call that a day, but in just a few seconds, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, back at it. Hand tools and styrofoam coffee cups are kind of precarious, especially when you're holding another phone, doing it one-handed. Okay, so replacing the metal hammer with the good stuff, the resin plastic. Oh, Lord help me. For the most part, the work that I'm doing in this factory, in this renovation, is not incredibly tough to do, but it's just tough enough that it makes you tired, and it's never ending. It's relentless. So you don't have to be a superhero to do it. You just have to be a rock in terms of willpower. So you just got to keep going and keep going and keep going. If you got that, you can do a project like this. So. Okay, next bummer. I guess that pipe there is a more recent installation, added later, because the paneling went on first. There's a cutout, and then they put the pipe through there. So when I yank this wall off, that's gonna prevent that from coming off. So I have to cut a channel out there. So one of the best things about working on your own place is that you can take shortcuts and find workarounds. Cutting my channel there with a pair of vice grips. I will admit that it's hard to do with one hand. Okay. Home and garden TV does not know what they're missing. There we go. She's free. Okay, so I just want to say something about the difference of materials back in the day and materials today. This is like ultra thin paneling as well. I mean, technically it's like a plywood, but it's real thin fascia board there. And it is so much more durable than that 1970s, 80s stuff that we just pulled off. So this wall had, I don't know if you see the size of those nails. Those are really big nails, and they go all the way into the wall there. And I've been using this in an area that's behind stud with no stud, and using that as the fulcrum for leverage. And if I had done that on the old paneling, the pressure would punch through this. But here, I had to pry really hard, and just that thin paneling held up. So it's quality wood, which is way more than I can say for that stuff. Okay, looking a little bit better. So now what I want to do before I go into this drop ceiling and all this paneling here, I've got a little bit of detail work to do back there, which I've been putting off because there's not much room to move around in there. But check out those gigantic windows up there. And then when you walk through the foyer here, there's another set up there, which miraculously have survived. Out of all the rocks that have been thrown at this building, these are still intact. So, yeah, so this is really high ceiling, and it's got all that chippy paint that's got to come off. But yeah, so I'm gonna take care of this. And I find that if I put the little details off till later, then I have a hard time finding the motivation to go back and get it really 100% done. So I'm trying to make myself do those little things as the project goes. So, okay, so you see how this board is here? These were added on later, but they were taken from somewhere that was original to the building. But they were put up there so that they could anchor that paneling on. I don't know where they got that from because it's the exact same color. Here is another board that I had pulled off. And when I walked into the room to get started, I was looking at this wall over here. It needs a lot of repair work. Looks like maybe even some termites got into that wainscot there. But it's like an added in piece, so that should be pretty easy to replace. This is missing under this windowsill. And that means I'm pretty lucky that I found this board here, because I can just cut that to length. It's already painted to the right color. And I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it's the exact same width. So if I just cut it here, I can put that other one in, and that's good to go. There's one stubborn nail in there somewhere, and I'm not sure where it's at. Oh, there it is. Woo! Okay. Found it. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Whew. All right. Okay. Just one more wall here, and then we can move on. One more piece to go. And there it is right there. So Oh, wow. It's kind of hard to get an appreciation for this room with a phone camera, so you'll have to take my word for it. It looks pretty good. So, okay, all done. Whew. And in the process, I've jabbed myself with a couple of nails, and it's a good thing that I have my tetanus shot. I think I'm on year 6. It's like a 10-year thing, but I guess I could go and get my booster since I'm really dealing with a lot here in this building. But I've said before that this building provides, and I'm leaking just a little bit. So I found this the other day when I was cleaning out this hallway. First aid kit with some Band-Aids. Oops, don't want to show that. Keep my finger pointed the other way. Yeah, so I'm taking care of this building, and this building is taking care of me. Whew. Okay, so that brings us to this hallway, and I'm kind of excited about this one because this is going to make a visual impact throughout this. You know, as you come in, this whole area is kind of the first impression for the building. So, and this is pretty sketchy stuff, all of it. So I want to start from the top down. And so the floating ceiling here is going to go first, and then I'll move on to the walls. I'm really hoping that I kind of uncover something I wasn't expecting. So it's always a nice little treat when that happens. So let's see what we got. Okay, so what do they say? Always leave them wanting more. I don't want to make these videos too long, so I decided to break this into a part 1 and a part 2. And it's been a long day already. So I think I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to call it a night. So keep your fingers crossed for me, and I'm going to stick it out right to the very end to make sure I get all the details done. And I'll see you guys next week for the big reveal. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.